Right. Well, let's go ahead and get it started. We unfortunately started this up a little bit late, but yeah, we're in looking at it, we're probably going to have to modify the startup time, but I'll make announcements about that. Anyway,
Let me be the first.
okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and come on. Why are you doing this to me, PC? Quit being difficult. There we go. Let's do this. Let's get this started. Okay, so Roddy, or not Roddy, sorry, Mitch, you said you wanted to be first.
No, actually, I didn't. I don't know what
Oh,
first
okay.
is. I'm brand new. I mean,
Okay, let me go ahead and give you
that's all.
so quickly, hello everybody. Let me give you a quick overview of how it's going to work today. So the mic check is split up into three different sections. There is the cold reads, then there is the discussion portion, and then there is the directed reads. So during the cold read section, everybody's going to have an opportunity to go ahead and just read the script however they feel is best. Then we're going to go ahead and go to the discussion portion where we're going to actually talk about the script. We're going to talk about how it's used. We're going to talk about um, how we will approach the script, where it's used, things like that. And then when we do the directed portion of the reads or of the mic check, everybody's going to have an opportunity to go ahead and give people some input on how they feel they hit that target that we established early on. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna ask for a volunteer, but if nobody wants to volunteer, I'll go ahead and go first. That's not a problem. Be more than happy to do that. But
I'll
would anybody?
volunteer.
Okay, so then let me go ahead and. Well, I mean,
Damien, hi.
we're already starting up with a little bit of an introduction. Like I mentioned before, we are streaming this so that there is a record of what we talked about. The videos aren't monetized, so I'm not trying to make money off of your performances or anything. It's just an opportunity for everybody to have a history of how we practiced. So, without any further ado, since we're already fairly late, let's go ahead and give this a start, shall we? Damien, whenever you're ready, give us a read.
All right. And by the way, my Discord name is Apollo. Hi. Um, let's see. Hey, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I just trust you're up to the challenge of solving the case. Your client Carmen was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind. Mr. Webster was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's managed to identify four clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspect's means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all three will reveal the killer.
Okay, Damien, you get to choose who goes after you. So who's going to cold read next?
Uh,
You have your free reign. Anybody is open.
How do I find out who's in here? Oh, wait, participants. Let's see. I'm going to choose Roddy King.
All right, Roddy, you are up next. Go ahead and give us a read.
All right, then. Hey, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind. Nick was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As soon as you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspects' means, motives, and opportunities. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer.
Okay, who's up next? Myself or Mitch?
I'll go.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Mitch. Yeah,
Go
sure.
for it, Mitch.
We all right? All right.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me mute it. I don't want to cough in your ear. Okay. One question though.
Yeah.
What are the firms is about?
We'll get into that. For now, just make a choice on those.
Okay.
It
All right.
is-
All right.
it
Done,
actually-
done. I hear.
Yeah,
Okay.
just make a choice on them. Do whatever you'd like. This is just a cold read.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the team. I trust you're all up to the challenge of solving this case. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. I mean, who are they kidding? As soon as they took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind. Nick was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspects' means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will catch the killer.
Okay, and without any further ado, I'll go next. Hey, welcome to the team. I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Your client Carmen was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities are thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind Nick was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspect's means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer. Okay, so now that we've all had a chance to go ahead and read through the script itself, let's talk about it. So, did you guys have an opportunity to read the direction up top? If not, go ahead and take a moment to do that now, and we'll get some ideas going as to who you are, what we need to do, and some choices you need to make along the way. All right. Has everybody had an opportunity to read through?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. What do we know about this project that is going to affect how we read it?
Whether we decide to be friendly or sarcastic, I want to say.
Yeah, we've got a lot of freedom with this particular script. Like, we actually have ourselves a lot of choice to do what it is that we want to. So we can go with like a really friendly supporter style, as it says over here, or a really grouchy, sort of surly kind of delivery. It's really up to you however you want to go with it. Either way, though, please make sure that you are as committed as you can be to that particular read, to that particular idea. I'm going to leave it up to you as to whether or not you want to choose either one. We're not going to stick to one particular style, but we are going to talk about both of those. So which one sounds more fun to talk about? The supportive read or the grouchy read?
The grouchy read.
I would definitely say the Grouchy Reed.
I was going
Right.
to say the Grouchy is probably going to be the most fun to talk
Well,
about.
no,
so.
not only that, but this is a noir. This is a detective from like Brooklyn. I know stuff about that. I'm
I
from
mean, yeah,
really.
you came with you came to this one with a little bit of an edge. So yeah,
Well, I had well, but come on, just look at the script, and I had no full knowledge. I listen to me. I swear to God, I know I told.
Uh,
No, really, this is
look,
great. It's like I just
in
came in
regard
today.
to all of us having to read this, you are by far way up there. Like you have certainly
No,
a
no,
much
no.
better
I know,
edge than
I
us.
got nothing. Let me tell you
see-
about me. Okay, Brooke, but I've been doing this since July. Okay, I got the booth right. You know, I mean, the blankets, the whole thing. There's no noise floor. I may be in Brooklyn, but right now I'm in North Carolina.
Oh,
Otherwise,
same.
well, otherwise you'd hear what? My
Lots
cousin
of
Vinny,
honk.
he couldn't
Yeah.
sleep until he was back in jail with the sirens and the cops. And I'm from New York. If the airplane's gonna go ahead, I couldn't sleep. All right, but anyway.
Well, then
for real.
let's talk a little bit about character creation in general. If you're starting off from that farther, from that far back.
Well, yeah,
if you
I
haven't
mean,
done
we're
it for that long.
talking about any of the. All right, Johnny Dollar. My wife goes to sleep every night with this in her ear. Just people sleep with different things,
Right.
and it's a noir thing because of me. But it's like Sam Spade. This is what this is about to me, and that's why I'm
Again-
getting full Brooklyn. But I don't really talk like that anymore.
Well, again, I think the more that you add to this character, the better.
Thank you.
But going really far back, like going to the really, really basics, like super basics of character creation, your main goal as an actor in general, if you're doing a character script, is to make sure that you sound like you live in that world, that you exist in what's going on. So it's important for you to see the scene around you. It's important for you to see through the eyes of your character, to see the other people that you're interacting with, people or person or things that you're interacting with, to understand whether or not these things are normal or not in the world, to have an appropriate emotional space for what's going on around you. That's going to be the most important thing here. So when you think about this character, think about everything. Think about the office that they're currently in, or the situation that you're in and talking to this new person. So clearly you're interacting with someone. Is it one person? Is it a group of people? I think it would make more sense for it to just be one person, but that's up to you how you want to approach it. It may not sound right as a group of people, but we can talk about that. We'll get to that in the directed reads probably. But with character creation, what you really want to make sure that you do is that you understand your character's mindset. You understand who they are and what led them to that point. So if this person's really like grumpy, what are some things that could contribute to that? Like what are some descriptive words for a character that would lead to them sounding grumpy? For instance, one of the ones I'm thinking of is jaded. Maybe they've had stuff go wrong for them in the past, or people screw them over
Yeah,
in the
but
past.
we wouldn't use the word jaded from Brooklyn.
Okay, what'd you use?
Pissed off, grumpy, pissed off.
Yeah, grumpy, pissed off, but jaded.
Yeah,
is
but
just,
jaded.
it's just
Well,
another...
you say jaded, except then it's the jewelry. Then we got to pay something, right? Listen, it's intuitive. It's not saying you can't use any like mineral like that. That doesn't work. Okay. You want me to get involved? The problem
idea.
is, I just came today, and I'm more involved in this than anything else. So I'm going to be quiet because
No. It's
I'm
good.
ruining
It's
it
good.
for everybody,
Nah,
man.
you're not ruining it for everybody. You're not. Don't worry about it. But it's seriously though, like really consider where your mindset is. Really consider these things. The only reason why I bring up jaded is because it's a way for other people to sort of connect to it in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, pissed off. What else? What are some other things that kind of contribute to that sound or that feel? What are some other mindsets that we can think of, or things that might have happened to this person to contribute to that grumpy sound?
World weary. I don't want to be the kid. Oh, I don't be horseshoe.
No, that's perfectly
world
fine.
weary.
Okay, world weary. That's a good one.
Hangdog head, tired, noir, head down.
Tired. That's a good one, actually.
Yeah, I'm just the world tired. You see,
Yeah.
like the shoulders world tired. You know, I'm just
Yeah,
come on.
yeah, yeah.
Look what
Yeah,
they
I
did. They
get
got
it.
another guy. They got on Nikki now. Now what's next? I'm done. Goodbye. Okay. I'll be right here. I'm going to shut up.
No, no, no. I love it. I love it. I'm opening it up to as much input as possible. Roddy, Damien, anything from you guys?
I'm trying to look for the circle in the Discord server. I think Michelangelo posted it.
Oh, that's Matteo. Yes.
Mateo. Yeah. My bad.
No, no,
Mateo.
no. It's fine. I don't know why he changed his name to that, but whatever.
Yeah, I was looking for that circle that had all the emotions on it, because like I saw it like literally 10 minutes ago, and I was trying to find a word from there that could like best describe, because I can't like exactly think of one off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, when you do, let us know. But again, it's these other views, these different descriptive words for the same thing that could really help out.
Bro, I just had it. It was like literally less than 10 minutes ago. It was on the screen and now it's
Okay.
gone.
All right. All right. All right. Take your time. Take your time. Whatever. It's no big deal. Damien, any thoughts from you? I'm going to be calling on you guys specifically since we really don't have that many people here.
That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Honestly, I may have like zoned out for like a split second, so I'm like forgetting what we're trying to describe here.
We're trying to describe the grumpy Reed. We're trying to describe the angry or the grouch, sarcastic grouch style of Reed. We're coming up with different synonyms or ways to describe that mindset that could help get
Found
people
it.
thinking about it.
Found it.
Roddy found something.
Okay. I feel like hostile could describe it.
Okay, hostile's a good one.
Yeah.
But now you're cheating because you're using some external thing when I asked you to come up with something yourself.
My
It's part of the creation process, man.
My bad.
I want to use the word berated.
Berated. Okay.
Berated.
That could work. Again, it's just some words, some thoughts to come up with exactly how to describe this person. So if we are going with that route, again, since we're talking about the grouchy or the grumpy Reed, you have a few choices in this script going down the list. You have some things in the in parentheses and whatnot. So what do you think somebody who feels like that or who is like that would do? What are some of their choices? What do you think they would do? What they would ignore? Getting any input that I can from you guys.
Well, they'd be a rather coarse person, very jagged, rough, on the outside, really trying to protect whatever they have left to protect. It sounds like a grumpy person, at least to me, would probably be someone that has gone through a certain amount of loss or, as you said before, like setbacks that have really just taken a toll on their optimism, leaving them pretty much just a heap of negativity.
Okay.
Or negativity that appears that way, but really what they're trying to do is just exude this sense of realism. Like they're not trying to be optimistic, they're not trying to be pessimistic, they're trying to be realistic. And that's their approach to anything and everything, whether it's deciding on a cup of coffee, or that's not how I say coffee. Deciding on a cup of coffee, or trying to figure out who the murderer is for this case.
Right. Well, now that we have a good idea of this person's mindset, let's think about some of the decisions that they would make along the way. Because again, you have options here, particularly in the parentheses. That somebody who is in that kind of a mindset, who is that kind of grumpy or negative, is going to be more, is going to either lean back, lean really far into the sarcasm, or they're just going to leave out any personal connection that they can. So, for instance, they would say, like, where it says, "There's no doubt in my mind we have a choice between Mr. Webster or Nick," they'd probably just say Mr. Webster, because to them it's just another case, it's just another thing, and not really another person, you know. Um, I would assume that I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and that section at the very beginning that's in parentheses is also either going to ramp the sarcasm way up, or you're just going to completely omit that and just get straight down to business. So I like the idea of also kind of being berating, like almost being condescending to who you're talking to, talking down to them, and almost like they were a child. That might be a good way to approach it too. But all in all, what I mostly want to hear is, I want to hear, if you're gonna go with that grumpy read, I want to hear you really believe that you are going to be that way. You know, really, really believe that you don't care about your listeners' feelings and you just want to get this over with. And that you make choices along the way to really amplify that. So, does anybody have any further comments, questions, or anything like that about the more grumpy read? Did I cover everything? Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about in regards to that choice?
Well, if I may.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay, this is Mitch. But the thing becomes then, it's not that clear cut unless you allow it to be. Obviously, you see, I'm looking at this whole thing with everybody in you, and you're wonderful. Really, you're very good, amazing, actually. But is it just that? See, I can call him Nick because I know him from 20 years ago. There was that connection. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's how you get, or your way, you know, which is sarcasm because we don't care about the personalities, but you don't see, that's where I'm torn. It's okay for me to know Nick and like Nick and want to do this for Nick and not care about
Yeah.
anybody else. You know,
Absolutely.
you don't have to, you know, is that okay to read it like that?
Yeah. Look, so the thing is about the audition. We're treating this as an audition,
Okay.
and the thing is about auditions.
See, I need to know the best, because if
No
you're
problem.
telling me this is how I want it read, this is what the job entails, then I got a STF. I got to be quiet. And no, see, I got to understand how this is run. You know what I mean?
No, I
wanna do
understand.
it. And they're going to tell me one day, do not do it like that. I want it the way, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
So I want to know if the direction is just like the demand, or is it elastic?
So it is open to your interpretation,
Okay.
how you want to approach it. The only reason why the main reason why we do this discussion portion is to help solidify some thoughts and ideas along the way. The reality is that the audition process is your opportunity to be as creative as possible with the character. I've even heard it put from some people in the industry that the audition is the job.
No, that's
is the
exactly.
thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the reason being is that when you are hired for the position, when you are finally cast for that role, if you are, then suddenly all your freedom of creativity is now going to be focused and pulled in a bit more. So you don't have as much freedom to approach that character.
But that's later.
Exactly. That happens down the line.
Okay.
Now, again, if you want to look at auditioning realistically, a really good landing rate, all right, at least this was, you know, a couple of years ago, it might have changed by now, but it should still probably hover around the same range. But a really good landing rate for auditions, you know, transferring into jobs is about 10%. 10% is really good.
No, it's real.
Yeah, and that means
2.5, but yeah. Right.
That means that the rest of the 90%, the other 90% are just going to go into the void. So why shouldn't you have fun with it? Why shouldn't you get creative with it? There's zero reason not to, because either you don't do the audition, and in which case you'll never land the part, or you do the audition and you have fun with it and you bring your own life and vitality to the role. And
you know,
you may land the
If
job
if I
because of
may,
that.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, in the short time, and it's been really short, July. What I've gotten these parts, I mean, on free thing and so on. I got paid twice, but I'm nowhere near. But anyway, the thing becomes, they wanted me to do this, and I went for that, and like a Danzo in Naruto, but not the real one, a thing off, whatever it means. But I loved it. I had so much fun because I like doing that guy.
Mhm.
Now they give me somebody else, well, they want me to do this, and I can't do it.
Again,
I can, but it's
well,
like
but
when
there's the
you
thing.
love it, when you have so much fun, you don't even, it's like you're not even working, man.
Right, right. When you have fun, you're bringing that life that they really
Oh,
need to the
Hito, you
party.
dare to get the Hayaki. Really. And
But yeah,
I'm going to do, listen, you know how old I am? I'm doing anime. Are you kidding me? I thought it was enema. I didn't even know how to pronounce it. Really. And so now I'm Danzo. Okay, I'm this cranky old Japanese guy who's and a few others. But yeah, and it's only brand new, and I got a couple of them. Yeah, it's free, some of them,
Mhm.
but it's so great when it's fun. It's
And
so great when you can feel a guy,
that's the point. Yes, that's the
Right?
goal. The goal is to get to that point with any script that you pick up. Find your fun in that script. Because again, don't get married to the directions. You don't need to do them 100% absolutely perfect. That's how you sanitize yourself out of the read. Trying to be perfect according to the directions is the way that you kill all of your creativity. The directions guide you to the end point. The ultimate goal is, for this at least, if you read the direction here, if you really read the direction and listen to what it's saying, the ultimate end goal is telling you to have fun with it, to be creative with it, to bring life to it. They have these two different thoughts because those two kind of generally fall into what style of read most people will do anyways. One of them is going to be the supportive mentor type. So they're going to be a little bit calmer, they're going to be more approachable, they're going to be more friendly, they're going to be more, insert descriptive word here for that. Where the other side is going to be more of the sarcastic, in your face, angry dude who is, it's kind of like
But I don't think they're both diametrically opposed, actually.
no,
But
no, they're definitely not.
but in this instance, to me, it's an investigator.
Mm,
It's a PI. I mean, he has no legal power. He's not a cop.
right.
So therefore, it's a PI. Therefore, it's a Sam Spade to me. And that
Mm.
sets the whole thing off.
Yeah, again, as long as you're having fun with it, and that's why we're trying to discuss this. So your mind is flowing, the creative juices are flowing. So I think we've got a good idea of the more grumpy, negative type character for this one. Let's talk about that supportive character. So supportive character archetypes. Who are some other like mentor type characters you can think of that would fit with something like this?
I got two actually. Well, like
Okay.
actual people or emotion types.
Either way, doesn't matter.
Um I don't know why, but even though it's a murder case, I don't know why I see like laid back since it's
Sure.
supporting and friendly. And then the other one is obviously, well, to me, obviously encouraging.
Mhm.
Those were my two description words. And I didn't look at the freaking circle.
Good, good. I need you to be as creative as you can be on this. That's the idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, laid back. So I love that you bring that up. That immediately gets me thinking why. Like why how do I portray that? What's the why? Why would this character be laid back during a murder mystery? Like when trying to solve a murder. Well, I don't know about you, but for me, the stuff that comes up in my head is maybe this person like they are very convinced about the course of justice, and they know what they're doing, and they know what's important to them, and they know that they can bring anybody to justice if they just had the time and preparation to do it. Nobody will escape the law, so they're very confident that they can make it through, and because of that, they're not super worried about it. And maybe they are really looking forward to instilling those beliefs into somebody else. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming right now.
Yeah,
I'm just coming up with stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. The main part that I was, but from what you were saying, the main part I was focused on was, yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's why.
Confidence. Yeah, that's another one. That's another emotion that you can draw on for the positive character. Confidence. People like confident people. So that's a really good one. So let's think, what are some other ones? How can we or how can we create a positive character in this situation with this script that makes sense to you?
Well, for me, a friendly and supportive character is, at least in this case, what comes to mind for me is somebody that tries to keep it a little lighthearted yet
Mhm.
still serious. So despite the seriousness of the case of the events that have transpired, they still keep a smile because they know how dark this rabbit hole could get,
Mhm.
and they know that it's easy to spiral and really let the seriousness of the job, take over and let it be all that you've become, all that you will become.
So a
I could,
mentor type character.
yeah,
Okay.
the guy
Excellent.
doesn't want the guy doesn't want you to, fall victim to the stresses and dangers of this job entirely. They want you to keep. They don't want the job to be all that you are.
Right. Probably
They
because
want
they've seen how that's torn other people apart, right?
Exactly. They want
Yeah.
you to still remain who you are while still tackling on the job.
Yeah.
So even though it, at least to whoever the mentee is, at least to them, it may seem like their mentor is, way too lighthearted and isn't taking things seriously. But really there's a wisdom and an emotion behind it that is just trying to reach out and protect the mentee.
So we've got some good descriptions in there. We've got supportive. We have understanding. We have mentor. We have some really good ideas that you could easily use to make a really solid, positive sounding character for this one. But this is the goal, though. This is the goal for an audition: is for you to have this creative process where you give this character some life, some background, something that you can work from. And the more of that you add into it, the more fun that you yourself have with it, the more invested you're going to sound, the better the audio quality that's going to come up. Because honestly, you can try to sound like something as much as possible, but if your mind is not there, then the way that you speak, the way that you express yourself, and the way that you try to present things is also not going to be there. So it's really important that when you read a character, you're not looking for these specific audio cues that you need to try to do, because you're not always going to be able to do those. What's more important is putting your mind in the right situation, seeing the world around you, and communicating that as clearly as possible. So that's the goal. Ultimately, that's the goal. And that's why we do the discussion exercise. It's not to try to find the specific thing to do in every situation. That may not always work. Every actor is different. One choice that somebody makes is going to be very different and work out very differently from something that another person chooses. So trying to direct towards a specific sound, I don't think is necessarily the right call. It's more of getting your mind where it needs to be. So we've talked about both sides. We've talked about the grumpier side, the more negative character, and we've talked about the more positive character. Does anybody else have any other thoughts, questions, comments about either character or the script in general that we can clarify before we get into the directed reads?
Can I change my mind?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. Why not? What
I
do you
I
think?
did.
So you're gonna go with a more
No.
oh, okay.
Stop. Who are you talking to? My mom used to say a leopard can't change its spots, which on the surface of it is ridiculous as an analogy, but you had to know my mom. But anyway,
It's a common analogy.
no,
to be
really.
fair.
Well, yeah, okay. When was the last time you heard it?
When
When you were about 5.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
okay. It's been
No,
a
but
little
very
while.
cool. You're excellent. But
I just talk.
you know what? Some people just talk, and that's all they do.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, I'm gonna bug off here, but I want to do the directed read thing.
okay. Yeah.
Very
Well,
cool.
we're
Thank
gonna
you.
we're gonna do this in order. So
Indeed,
uh,
whatever the order is, I'm gonna mute out.
I've got it all handled here on my end. So now, a little note on these directed reads. So again, we did a lot of discussion specifically on what we're looking for with the two different reads, with the two different sides. Now, I don't want you to be hung up on specifics unless the specifics radically change the feel of the script. So a laugh that is unnecessarily added in might be something we want to direct away from, whereas a little bit of ad-libbing here or there might be something that is perfectly fine. It all depends on the emotion you're trying to communicate. Now, it's going to be really important that you try to keep your mind focused on that emotion versus telling us beforehand. We want to hear it in your performance. What are you specifically going for? Dedicate yourself to that read. So, also, when I ask for participation, it's open to anybody. Please feel free to speak and let us know what you're thinking when it comes to the deliveries. So we're going to go ahead and start off with Damien. Damien, whenever you're ready, go ahead and give us a read.
So currently I'm actually like torn between two different approaches to the friendly and supportive one.
Okay.
There's the
Well, we're only going to do one, either friendly or negative. So it sounds like you're doing, or you're talking about friendly supportive first, right?
It's no. I have two different approaches to the same
Oh,
type
okay,
of read.
okay.
Which is why I'm torn. Like I think
Which
it's
one
against the Dan
feels-
rules to tell you what I'm trying to do.
Well, no, it's not. It's not. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's another thing that I wanted to establish. We have two rules during this section of the mic check. Real quick, we're taking a quick break just so that I establish this. So the two rules, these rules were named after previous attendees to the mic check. There is the Dan rule and there is the Nephilim rule. Those are our two rules. The Dan rule states that when you are up to perform, you cannot critique your own performance. We want you to be totally focused on what you're doing behind the microphone when you're practicing with us. So you leave the critique to everyone else, you focus on your performance. The Nephilim rule is you do not apologize for your read, either before, during, or after. Do not apologize for your read.
Is that a real name?
It's screen names that people went by. It's screen names people went by. But Dan is Dan's real name. Nephilim, I do not believe, is Nephilim's real name. But it doesn't matter because the rule is the most important part. Like the specifics of the rule is the most important part. So again, you do not direct yourself, or you do not critique yourself, and you do not apologize for your read before, during, or after. Those are the two rules. Anyway, going back to you, Damien. So you haven't read and you haven't performed, which means if you say something about your upcoming performance, that's going to be tantamount to apologizing for it. So it's not a violation of the Dan rule, it's a violation of the Nephilim rule, technically, if we want to get really, really granular about it. But what I want you to do is I want you to stop and consider which one feels more natural. And if they both feel more natural, which one feels more fun? That's the one you ultimately should be going with.
Okay. I'll give it a shot.
You do it. No, don't give it a shot. Do it. You got this. Just choose one of them. Choose one of them that feels the most fun and natural, and that should be your read.
Hey, welcome to the team. Looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was on to something. There's no doubt in my mind, Mr. Webster, Nicky Boy here, was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspects' means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer. I lost the character at the end of it.
And that was a violation of the Dan rule. Thank you very much for doing that. You
Exactly.
now
You
have
actually got better, by the way.
so there is a punishment, a specific punishment to violating either one of these 2 rules, and that's either 10 sit-ups or 10 push-ups. You get to choose.
On video. No, I don't want to see it. No.
Or 10 squats. I don't know. Whatever works, but you got to do 10 of some exercise for violating the Dan rule.
I've got very limited space in here, but I'll do it.
Okay, so while he's completing that, let's go ahead and just start brainstorming some feedback you might want to give to him when he comes back.
Raylan Gibbons. Raylan.
Expose your kneecaps, Mateo, please.
Raylan. He sounded just like Raylan, didn't he?
Uh-oh, we lost him.
Who's that?
We actually lost Damien.
No, he didn't want to do the sit-up.
No, apparently not. No, it was too much. He's like, nope, I ain't doing this. This is already starting off.
Did he really go? No, man. Yeah,
No, yeah. Unfortunately, it looks like we lost him. He might come back.
he went to the loo. He'd be back. No, it was okay. It sounded like Raylan Gibbons, man.
Well, the thing is like he mentioned that he lost the script at the end, or he's lost his character at the end. I actually felt that was stronger because of it. Ah, yes, here he is. Okay.
Yeah, I knew he'd be. Come on, they'll all come back. Come on.
That's not true. We have lost
Have
some
faith.
people.
Yeah, well, you know what? They're the exclusions that make the rule. Okay.
Well, the thing is, I'm under no illusion that the mic check. I don't think the mic check is absolutely for everybody. I like to get really granular and really specific about things, and some people just want to have their
I
ego
see,
stroked,
but you're actually.
I'm back.
I'm glad I found that. Hey, hi. We were worried about you.
Yeah,
we
I
were
don't know
worried
what
that-
happened. Literally, I did the 10 push-ups. I came back, and like as I sat down, I got like I don't know. I got kicked somehow.
I was gonna say, like, did it really start off that badly?
Wait, hold on.
just,
You
like-
really did it? Oh my God. We got to get this.
No, he did. I saw.
Yeah,
the
it was on
background.
No.
screen. It was
I'm not
on
saying.
screen.
I'm saying he really did it.
That's some dedication right there, and I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It was
let's
on
talk
screen.
about it.
I'm
Let's
not
talk about
frigging
that.
up, man. I ain't doing no 10 push-ups.
I
did
let's
100.
talk about the
I'm-
script, shall we?
Okay.
I mean, whenever I talk, don't you see my picture? I'm a bodybuilder.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably not a major problem for you, anyways. But it's something that we needed to have some way to enforce it. So that's how we came up with it. 10 of something: push-ups, sit-ups, squats. I don't know. Just do 10 of them. That is your punishment. Now let's talk about your performance, shall we? So, Mitch, you had something that you wanted to say about it, right?
Yeah, you sound like Raylan Gibbons in the house. What show was that? You remember Justified? Justified.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched TV for.
I'm not telling. Listen, ATV. It's a. My goodness, listen to me. You sounded it right. You did good. Okay. Just-
Okay.
Thank you.
That's it.
So the funny thing is that you mentioned that you lost the character at the end. You did, but that was your best delivery. You improved towards the end.
I said you got better. I got better as you went. That's what I said.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yeah. So I would say you're putting on
Can
an
I tell
accent
him
for
what I
this one.
think?
Yeah,
Man?
please.
All right,
That's why I opened it
you
up.
started off a little affected, like you tried to be a thing. You tried to get that thing and the thing, and but you got really good at it, and then I believed it. So yeah, just loosen up a little bit in the beginning. You'll be fine. You got it. The end is the more you do it, the better you get at it, and you will be you, and you'll be okay. You do good, man. That's what I think. And I don't know shit.
Yeah, you
Done.
have an opinion though, and that's what matters most.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, very cool.
Well,
Like you
thank you.
said,
I
we
appreciate
both
it.
listen. When one guy says something about you, it's his opinion. When two say it, they don't know each other. Sadly, that's a fact. Only
Well,
of that time and point, but
so
forever.
so Damien, were you nervous for this one?
No, I wouldn't say I was nervous. It was more like I was trying to get a clear hold of the character that I wanted to be.
Okay. Yeah, because you definitely sounded distracted. You didn't sound very connected to your delivery that you were going for, the read that you wanted. Here's the thing. I don't think that accent is serving you because you started missing some very key things that key emphases here or there that you needed to really communicate through the script. And you started moving very, very quickly through certain portions of it, which had me lose some of the, or which made me at least lose track of what it is exactly you were saying. With this, you need to be very clear on exactly how you're communicating with this other person because you're briefing them on this. This is their first time not only interacting with you, but interacting with what's going on here. So,
Gotcha.
I want you to just we might go ahead and go back to it, but for now, drop the accent entirely. Let's just hear it with your mindset of, hey, let's you and me. I got this file here. Let's work on this, shall we?
Gotcha.
That's what I want to hear from you. So, does anybody else have any other input? Anything they'd like to say?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It felt like the accent that you were trying to do was holding you back a bit. Like it definitely felt a little forced.
Yeah. So let's drop it. Let's just see what dropping it does to your mindset. Same character, no accent. Whenever you're ready.
So that same voice, just without the accent.
Well, the same feel, the same emotional like the emotional range, that mindset, yes, but no accent.
I will say it kind of sounded like you were flippantly giving the details, like very la-di-da. Away, maybe that was the speed of it as well.
Hey, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind, Mr. Webster was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspects' means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer.
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think of that read?
They thought
Nobody?
nothing.
Exactly. Okay, I've been talking a lot. I'll talk again. I think dropping the accent really helped you out. You were much more on message, much more on target with communicating that supportive, emotionally available character that you said you were initially going for, at least that I'm assuming you were initially going for. This was much easier to get more of the nuance and more of what was going on. There was a little bit of a slip up with I don't know what the local authorities were thinking, because you ended off on a really high up note, like that idea was going to continue, but then it just kind of stopped. So I would say be real careful around there. But for the most part, the emotional space that you presented here was really, really solid. Like it was much better than your previous read. I think keeping your mind partially on the accent you wanted to do probably threw you off more than you thought, because you interpreted the script much more realistically here.
Cool.
But I'm gonna open it up. Anybody else? Does anybody have anything they'd like to say about that read?
I think it was definitely an improvement. I will admit that I lost my train of thought while I was listening, so I was like, divergent thought, whatever. So I lost a little bit of it. But I definitely thought that earlier it felt very charactery, and this time it was way more truth to the script. Overall, more believable. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think all you really needed to do was slow it down and get the and get rid of the accent. How did you feel when you were delivering the script? Did you feel like you were interacting with someone?
No, I didn't. Honestly, what I felt was that I felt more like I was leaving a voice memo, or like than anything.
Okay.
Like yeah, that's roughly what I was getting.
Okay.
And I was like, during both takes, like I was definitely worried, because part of me was very hesitant to even try doing this tonight, because I may or may not have had my nose broken last week.
Oh,
So
Oh,
fun.
nice.
yeah, so like to me, I feel like I sound different compared to what I normally do.
Okay.
So I feel like I sound a lot more nasally right now.
That's probably bone conduction. You definitely don't.
Okay. So no idea.
Okay. Well, you were veering off into Dan rule violation territory there. I was just asking you. I mean, you started off answering my question though, so I'll give you a pass this time. But so here's the thing then. Whenever you're talking to somebody about something, you expect to see some reactions from them, right?
Indeed.
When you say something that you know they'll agree to, or that you want them to follow along with, you kind of expect them to be, oh, yeah. They have those reactions. I want you to look at the script and see where those reactions would naturally be from somebody you're speaking to. Hey, welcome to the team. There's a reaction after that. What is it? They'd be like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, think about that interaction between you and another person and idealize it. This is pre-scripted, so you don't have to worry about like leaving wiggle room for whether or not they're going to seem a little bit off-put by you being so friendly. It doesn't matter. Idealize it. Have somebody interact with you. Interact with them. The getting rid of the accent cleaned up a lot of the unsurety in your delivery previously to this. Now what I want you to do is I want you to see yourself interacting with another human being. That's why I say put yourself in that situation. Is there a desk between you two? Are you guys in a police office? Did you go and pick them up? Are you guys in a cruiser? Like, see the scene around you, put yourself in it, and interact with them. And use whatever's physically going on with you to help out with that. Yeah, you know what? If you broke your nose last week, Maybe it's because you were taken down, it's because your character was taken down a perp. So yeah, you're going to sound a little bit nasally. That's because it happened while you were doing your job. Like this,
Gotcha.
don't even worry about this. Like, roll with it. Heck, I had an experience with Roddy really recently about that. Don't think I forgot. I'm going to bring that up.
Please don't. Please don't.
No, he violated the Dan rule, and I thought it was really funny, and we actually
Yes.
used that in a directed session. So,
We
but
did.
Gotcha.
yeah, like, don't worry about it. Everything that's happening to you can work in you with your character. You just have to allow yourself to be that creative person and go with it. Yeah, okay. You're not sounding very nasally to us, but if that is something that happened to you, incorporate it. Use it. Again, maybe they were throwing elbows while you were trying to get their hands behind their back to cuff them. Yeah, you got hit in the line of duty. Whatever. You're tough. Walk it off, man. You know?
Wrap some dirt in it. Yeah,
Okay.
there are things that you can, especially at least in this occasion, you can utilize elements of your everyday life, or in this case, a more surprise event of your life into an audition. In this case, it particularly works because being a detective and in police force, it might get you a couple of broken bones. In general, what also I want to reinstate in another light what Michael is saying. In the end, what he's saying is it always comes down or comes back to context and having a scene in mind and playing it out. Technique wise, what you could do is, generally speaking, muddying up the read a little bit, so that what he was talking about, there are reactions from who you're interacting with. They are in just a blank slate, and that can help with removing the impression of a voicemail instead of a conversation, and also maybe using a little bit of pre-life also. A little bit of improvisation can help here and there, obviously not overdoing it. So yeah.
Okay. Would I be able to take another read at this?
Absolutely. Yeah. We just got the creative juices flowing. I'm not going to stop that. Go for it.
So good.
Hey, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Great! Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. No. I'm going to start over. No, didn't. Hey, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Awesome. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind Mr. Webster was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you and I work through this case, pay close attention to your suspects' means, motive, and ultimately their opportunities. Only a combination of all 3 will really tell us who the killer was.
All right, opening it up.
Yeah,
What did you all
yeah.
think?
Well, it definitely sounded more like a conversation, thanks to the ad lib you added before the second paragraph. That's an improvement, by the way.
Thank you.
Well done. Well
Okay.
done.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, go
look,
ahead. Go
well, let me tell you, you don't get away with anything. Come
ahead.
on. No, very cool. But the cold read's a cold read. At this time, you should kind of have a knowledge and read ahead a little bit. So try to be more fluid, more rounded. You're getting a little staccato, and then you wait and you talk. So in other words, if you use a rising inflection, well, I think, and you're going to wait, or just I think, but look ahead a little bit and try to be a little more fluid. At the end, you did good last time. At the end now, you're kind of running out of gas a little bit, I think, or just try to round out and make it a little tighter. That's all.
Gotcha.
So
That's
then
good feedback.
just
No,
retake.
I'm just trying to help.
Just give us a retake of the middle line, the middle sentence of the last paragraph, as we work, as you said, as we work through this case. If you need to give yourself a lead in, that's perfectly fine. But try to button that one up a little closer together.
Now, Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspects' means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer.
Okay, so here's I'm gonna have you take the last paragraph again. The thing that I really want to hear is emphasizing means, motive, and opportunity. You want who you're talking to really focus on those things. Pay close attention to your suspect's means, motive, and opportunity.
Yeah.
Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer. Again, you've done this forever, and the thing that they're looking for is when means, motive, and opportunity all intersect. That is going to point us to the perp. So that's the message that you're getting at. I want you to communicate that message with that last paragraph. Just that last paragraph whenever you're ready.
Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspects' means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer.
Okay, that was a lot more focused. What did you all think? It's like my universal hand signal for everybody.
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, I think you could have gone ahead and slapped that into your previous read. It would have made
Can I
a
say
decent
one more thing, a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
You're not trying to get through it. You started out and you were running, calm, just easy, calm, slower. Carmen's managed to, but it's part of the whole thing. Carmen's managed to, give it the same pacing. You're not running through the beginning to get to the end. It's hard to do, but nice and easy. You're doing great.
Thank you.
No, yeah, this last read, just overall, the last full read you gave was a marked improvement from that first one that you presented to us. A marked improvement. Now, if you wanted to, go ahead and give us one last read where you add in the accent, and we'll move on from there. Let's just see what it's like putting the accent back in, but with the same feel that you gave us with the last full read.
You want me to throw the accent in?
Yeah, throw the accent in. That's how you started the character. Unless you're feeling burnt out, in which case we can move on. It's perfectly fine.
No, I'm not feeling burnt out. Honestly,
Okay.
I love any and all opportunities to do this.
Well, then do that. Go ahead and add in the accent, but keep the same pace and emotional space that you had with this particular read, or with the last read you gave us. Excuse me.
Hi, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Your client Carmen was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was on to something. There's no doubt in my mind Mr. Webster was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, one of each of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspects' means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer.
Yeah. Tap them all, I think.
So overall, it was definitely better than your first read. I still don't feel that it hit the quality of the last one that you gave to us. I still think that the accent is throwing you off a little bit. So I think that would be using it would be fine for like a B take if you're going to send in an alternative, like because most of the times if you want to send in multiple takes, you're more than welcome to do so. But I definitely wouldn't lead with it because you were more emotionally invested and connected to what was going on sans accent.
Okay.
So overall,
Yeah.
though,
Mhm.
really, really great improvements to your read.
Definitely, Damien. Also, like, don't discard the accent completely. Like, we don't want you to accent bad, but the accented work requires obviously extra work, and it's unless you're a very very good at it, at accents in general or at one particular accent. It's tough, and also because I mean, in the business, people, even if you're great at accents, people will normally ask for native speakers. But with that aside, generally, accented work, even when you are in a good place with your normal read, accented work requires extra work. With that said, we don't want you to completely throw it away. As we said, B take will be completely fine because it helps bringing out new nuances and such. But yeah,
So
Okay.
overall,
I'll keep that in mind.
good job. Keep it in the back pocket and practice it for now. Moving right
also
along.
great shirt.
Thanks.
All right, moving right along. Roddy, you're up. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and give us a read.
Please.
Hey, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust that you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Well, your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an incident. Well, your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her case before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an incident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There was no doubt in my mind Nick was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. It looks like Carmen managed to identify 4 clear suspects. Each one of them, well, it seems that Carmen managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspect's means, motives, and opportunities. Only a combination of the three will reveal the killer.
Uh, mhm.
All right, opening it up. What did you all think?
If I may. So there were portions of your read that I did like. Some of the I'm like forgetting the synonym for sound. Some of the sounds that you put in there to make it sound more realistic were really good. I will say you kind of leaned into them a little heavily. I felt like every 2 seconds you were doing it, and I was getting like pulled out of it. I also want to say that you really dragged a lot of the words. You like you went, "Hey, welcome to the team." You did that like quite a bit, and I heard that a lot. So I would just say like pull back on that a bit. That's it.
Roddy, were you feeling nervous?
Not nervous, but I forgot. Yeah, I forgot to look back at the script because I had to run and do something. So while I was doing that, I kind of completely forgot the script. So I wasn't able to like read ahead. That's why I guess some of the words were dragged.
Yeah. It sounded really unsure.
Sorry.
I mean, you know you gotta do.
He's doing it. He already knows he's doing it. We went over this before.
That was a violation
pretty
of
recently.
the rule.
But you know me.
Excellent.
Oh man.
All
right.
I love how he fucking
You can't let that man do a push-up.
opened his fucking eyes. Like,
Sometime we gotta let it pass. Come
Yeah.
on, come on.
No, I do not want people to come here and then leave the practice. Come here to practice with us and spend their precious time with us and then leave the practice having built bad habits.
Oh boy. Okay. Go ahead.
Also,
I can't
yeah.
do that. I can't do
Say
that.
this by another name is.
No, but
And
there's the
we
thing, though.
have pleasure.
There's the
That's
thing,
why
though.
we laugh about it.
Look, I get what that looks like. I understand.
No, you know
I
what? You're
totally
right.
get it.
You're
But
right.
the thing is
Stone him.
I mean, that's a little extreme. We ain't gonna pull out the rack or anything, but
But can we use canes?
but the thing is I would like for people. I notice a market improvement, and that's the thing. I want to see the market improvement, and I know it could be there. So, Roddy, I need you to focus. I need you to get to think of your decision. I need you to focus on your choice, and I need you to make that choice, and I need you to talk to someone. You were doing a lot of laughing, a lot of, the huffs. Get rid of those. You're talking to one person. You can still be really polite to them and avoid all of that. It's just about your mindset. That's the most important thing that I want to hear.
But you're the leader, right?
Repeat
You're
that.
the leader. You're
Oh, the leader.
Yeah, you're the one
You
in
are the
charge,
leader.
Roddy.
you're
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah, you're the one in charge. So have that confidence. Talk directly to who you're speaking to. And I wanna hear you really embrace that. Like, if you want to help them, but be serious about it.
I will say one thing I really liked about your read was I think you had restarted it too. You had gone into the last paragraph saying it looks like Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects. And the way that you had said it really like drew me in, because all I could picture in my head was that you were looking at a table with all these documents on there, and you were like showing as if it was me that was, that you were talking to. You were showing me that these were the 4 suspects, you know. So the way that you went into that paragraph, I thought was very good.
Wow.
So if you can,
Wow.
try to do that again.
No, because I didn't see it the way you said it, and thank you. No, very, very good. Perceptive. Very cool.
The way I envisioned it was when we first, they walk into, they meet up with me. They come to my location. I say the greeting. After I say the greeting, I stand up. We walk. I either think we're like at a local, like bar, not a bar, but like a cafe or something, and then walking back to the station because it's close by, or we're already in the station, but we're walking to a different part of it while the conversation is happening.
Make a clear decision of one or the other.
Mhm.
Be in that scene. That's the main thing. Make a clear distinction, one or the other. Be in that scene. Like, hey, come on, let's head back to the station. Your client Carmen, you know, like you can add those in, but be in that scene. Whichever one it is, make the clear choice.
That's good.
Oh, hey, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust that you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Well, your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they were ruling this. Well, your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind that Nick was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Now, it looks like Carmen managed to figure out 4 clear sets. Now, it looks like Carmen managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each of them being more than capable of committing the crime. As soon as you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspects' means, motives, and opportunities. Only a combination of all 3 will be able to reveal the killer.
Okay. Solid so far. Retake that last paragraph, please. Just that last paragraph. Put it all together.
It seems Carmen managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each of them being more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspects' means, motives, and opportunities. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer.
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think of that read?
I liked
Yeah.
it. I think it had some character to it. I think I would just be careful about not trying to make the pacing so jerky. It was a little bit hard to follow sometimes, but I think it's fun.
So I'd like to give you a useful little mental tool that you can use next time you notice yourself slipping up on something. Take a pickup. So what that is when you notice that you've messed up or when your read is not progressing in the way that you know your character would want it to, just say pickup. That should be your notice. That's like a snap almost. And I know some people who actually do that as well when they do this. That should be like your instant flag of, okay, nope, this one's done. We're tossing it. We're going back and starting it over. My character is doing this. So it's a character reset, essentially. So when you do notice yourself messing up, pick up, go back, start over again.
I do that. I just don't say the pickup out loud.
Okay. Either way, it seemed like you were kind of struggling how to approach that. I just wanted to give that to you, but if that's what you're doing, good. All in all, yes, this delivery had much more characterization to it. It had a much clearer focus of who you were and what you were going for. I still think that that last paragraph was a little too flippant. I think you could button that up a bit better. Uh, Another thing is the laugh on accident. I still think that you can get rid of that and mock it rather than laughing at it. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. You know, rather than laughing at an accident. Look, oh, come on. Jeez, these amateurs, they don't know what they're doing. Come on. You know, that's kind of the direction it goes into. Laughing turns it into satire. And
Yeah, I don't know why the laugh felt natural when I first looked at it.
well, again, maybe that's just me. Did anybody else, when you heard that laugh, did it sound
Either
natural to you
way.
guys? Did it
No.
work for you guys or not? What did you think about that?
Nah, the timing was wrong with the laugh.
Okay.
And your suggestion,
Mhm.
the other, good read, good, solid, straight off. But yeah, the emotion at that point was uncalled for. The laughter just didn't fit.
I thought that the laugh can work. You just gotta apply it a little bit better, as Mitch said, a little bit of timing. I think it's different. It's different choices. I think either can work. Depends how you envision the scene.
Will probably be better afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
not during the word. Maybe after, if I were to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or instead of like a full-on laugh, just a huff. Nick Webster, I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. Like a little bit of a huff rather than a.
That's a good round.
Yeah, it's a lot more subtle, and that's
Round.
that's the issue when it comes to VO is that it's both bombastic and it's subtle. Everything works. You just have to know when to use it. So I think if you were going to do accident, really subtle, just a huff. Accident. It communicates the same thing, and it doesn't go too far. Or yes, afterwards, Nick Swift did an accident. I mean, come on. And in fact, that could be a great lead-in, you know, with Nick Swift's death and accident. I mean, come on. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. You can incorporate it. Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun. But be natural.
Mm-hmm.
I know, that's what we're all trying, right? Anyway, give us one more read. Unless somebody else has anything else they'd like to say. Going once? Going twice? Cool. From the top, whenever you're ready.
I can do it. I just have to make sure, like, I know what I'm saying. I feel like that's the main issue. All right. Let me skim through it real quick so I can no pickups.
One thing I want to add is what you're doing now is take your time and take a deep breath.
Yeah. Oh, hey, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust that you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Well, your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. I mean, seriously, as soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind, Nick was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. It seems Carmen managed to identify 4 clear suspects. each of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspects' means, motives, and opportunities. Only a combination of all three will reveal the killer.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all think of that one? Did it put it all together?
Yeah, it was all there. It was there, and it was effective.
Yeah, definitely. That was definitely the most comfortable read for me.
Yeah,
You're on thin ice, mister.
but well done.
So I think it was a good read in general. I think it was very well put together. However, for me, it sounds like a little static. Like it sounded like it was kept at the same.
You mean monotone? Well, static, but good word.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just the plodding along. Yeah. That's static. That's interesting.
yeah. There weren't there. Honestly, I just remember it from when I was rock climbing. But anyways, it sounded like there weren't enough highs and lows for me. It sounded like it was just going in a straight line.
No emotion. No emotion. Just speaking it. Just reading it to yourself. Not acting it. Not feeling it. That's what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we have to tell you. If we don't tell you, then we're doing you a disservice, man. Right?
Okay, so,
I mean, really, right?
No, it's true. It's true.
No, you're doing great, but a little more emotion. Look at what.
Yeah. Like I closed my eyes and I was trying to envision what you were reading to me, and well, maybe that was the problem. Is that I was thinking of it as like you're reading it. But like I couldn't get like a clear visual in my head of how you were wanting this to come across.
How you feeling? How are you feeling about it? There was no feeling in it. That's what you. Good monotone. That's what you're talking about. But well done.
Okay. So then, more feeling, more. I'm trying to see it. I thought that was a really solid read, but you know what? What is your character scene, Roddy? What are you doing while you're talking?
My character is visually off in his own world, just like staring straight ahead. He's not exactly looking at the rookie, but he's more of, just hold it. Okay. He's more of just like this, like while walking to the station or like wherever their headquarters are. But yeah, he doesn't really have too much of a care in the world. This is just another case for him.
Okay, so then why weren't you doing that?
Good question.
Aha. Aha. Use your body. You're a stage actor. You have stage experience. You know that makes a big difference. Use your body.
What's worse is I was thinking that while I was saying it. I wasn't doing it, but I was thinking it.
Use your body. Incorporate your whole being into your performance. If you're being nonchalant, sure, yeah, lean back. Hey, welcome to the team. If you're walking along and you just sort of like, whatever, hey, welcome to the team. But use your body. Of course, don't smack your microphone. These things are expensive, but use your body. Use the space around you. Let's hear that. Just be really focused on the scene, on where your character is, what they're doing, who they are. That's what I want you to be super focused on. If they're walking along and they got the hands up like this, and they're just like, yeah, whatever, then do that.
Mm-hmm.
but be your character. Let's hear you inhabit that. Go
All
for
right.
it.
Oh, hey, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Well, your client Carmen was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. I mean, seriously, as soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind that Nick was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Well, it looks like Carmen managed to figure out 4 clear suspects, each of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspects' means, motives, and opportunities. Only a combination of all 3 of those elements will reveal the killer.
Okay, opening it up. How was that?
On balance, well done. The more intense, the more you felt, the more you allow yourself to feel, the closer to the mate you got. On balance, really, you got there.
Yeah, it was much more approachable. Much more approachable because it sounded like you cared about where you were and what you were doing. So good on you. Let's go ahead and move it right along. Mitch, you're up.
You know, you got a good guy here. You got a good coach here. You know how
Oh,
lucky.
I'm no coach. I'm not a coach.
I'm not
just
talking
an
to you. I said
enthusiast.
the other people.
I was
It's not about. It's about you, but it's not about. Look what you. This is the current. Imagine you couldn't pay for this. Trust me.
I was gonna say, like, I've gone to him on 3 different occasions for
No, right? I mean, what the heck?
I trust his opinions.
Oh my
on directives.
goodness! No, I'm stunned, and I got nobody's. Listen,
Mhm.
I got hemorrhoids older than you. Okay. Well, that was quite. Listen, that's an old joke.
Mhm.
But in other words, I've seen a lot, man. But this guy is the best. I'm done. For real. You run into somebody you can connect to where you deal with the assholes every day. Normally the former, but we prefer the latter if that's what we meant to say. I like him.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I do this thing now?
It's your turn to read. Go ahead and choose a character and let us hear it.
The old no, come on. I have 6 kids and I really care about people, but this is what we're talking about. So yeah, it's acting. Hey, thanks for dropping by. Come here. I trust you up to the challenge of solving.
Mitch, you accidentally muted yourself.
Yes, I did. I didn't know it wasn't accidental. I forgot to unmute it.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes I like to shut up because who wants to hear me?
Whenever you're ready, I'd like to hear you. So go for it.
Indeed. Thank you. Where was I? Beginning.
Mitch, you're muted again.
Is this a warm up or is that why you're muting?
Really?
Yeah, you muted yourself again.
No, actually, that's very unusual because I didn't touch. My hands aren't even there. All right, we'll do it one more time. From the top. Thanks for dropping by. I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind Nick was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay attention to your suspect's means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all think?
Nice ad lib for at the beginning for switching the welcome to the team. Just thanks for dropping by. Nice replacement.
Anything else?
Personally, I really liked what he did with it's how he started off. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. He went like, it's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. I'm like, that was good. I like that.
Yeah, that's some good ad libbing there.
And I will say that like that I want to hear you do that last paragraph again, because you went from sounding one way. You sounded lighter throughout the majority of it, and then as you got to that, only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer. It got darker. There was a darker tone there. So I just want to hear the consistency.
Thank you.
But all around, I don't think your read needs much tweaking at all. I think you've got that's pretty solid.
So it actually, to me, it came off a bit staccato. Are you nervous right now? Are you feeling any kind of hesitation or trepidation, Mitch?
No, it's not nervous. No,
Okay.
I actually did 4 times, and somehow it got muted. The last time, it was like, really, I need water.
Oh, go grab some
No,
water.
for real. No, I'm not. That's not an actor's, laugh, clown, laugh. Look what happened to Red Skelton. So who am I to break the mold? But I do
Look,
need water, if I may. I'll be right back.
yeah, absolutely. Go grab
No,
some
for
water.
real. It's like,
Yeah.
You muted it again. Good move, Bowels. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Man. But yeah, that's actually, it brings up a good point here.
Hydration.
Well, yes, hydration, but more importantly than that is also sure, you don't want that interrupting your read. Imagine cutting that out of your. No, but it's actually about over practicing. There is a period of time where you do a script over and over again. You do it enough times where you build up really almost unbreakable muscle memory when you come to certain points. You start developing that muscle memory through repeatedly reading the same things in the exact same way over and over again, going down the list again and again and again, reading it the same way. And when somebody tries to direct you away from that, it becomes really, really difficult. There is something that we do in case that does happen. I'd like to see if it happens again here. We may have to, but we'll see how it works out. But yeah, don't over practice a script, because then you become undirectable.
Or we will have to use the secret weapon.
The pattern break.
You're gonna scream like an anime girl. while reading the script.
Yes, read the script, but insert baka, the word baka, in there
Oh,
as many
fuck.
times as you possibly
I
can.
didn't want to get that level of specific.
Oh, come on. That would be one crazy pattern break.
That's gonna be
What
Matt's
I-
punishment.
what I
10
asked.
yaws.
Sorry.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
It's
I'd
to the team,
rather,
Baka.
I'd rather go for 50 push-ups than ever use anything similar.
Okay, well then that's perfect. That's exactly what we're gonna do for you next time.
I don't give a
just- I-
shit. I will.
I just want to hear Baka at the end of it's just a matter of figuring out who killed him.
Jeez.
With a little bit of tsundere. Just like,
But we have Salvatore Dali in the house.
like, it's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Baka.
Shut up.
Baka.
Okay. Well, that just
No,
gave me
no,
a great
better-
idea for future pattern
Mitch,
breaks.
Mitch, take it back.
Getting back to it.
Better yet, you throw in the.
Oh my gosh.
I had to do it. I'm sorry.
Oh boy. All right. Yes, you did, and you're giving me way too many good ideas for future pattern breaks. Anyhow, Mitch,
You're welcome.
take a drink.
Yeah,
Give
I
us
got
another
it.
read. Make sure you stay unmuted this time, please. Please. Begging of you.
Yeah, so I took a drink.
All right. Let's hear
So you had the rabbi and the priest in the bar.
it.
Oh, well, wrong channel. Sorry.
Wait. You took a drink. Please tell me it was water.
Yeah, and I was born tomorrow morning. So the last paragraph,
No, whole
That's
thing
what-
from the top. I want to hear it from the top again.
from the top, I'll tell you what, you get from the top. All right, from the top. Okay, what's my motivation? I'm kidding. I read that. Never mind. Hey, thanks for dropping by. Glad you could come in. So your client, Carmen, struggling to get anyone to listen to before coming to us. You know, I don't know what the local authorities were thinking. They ruled Nick Webster to death in an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind Nick was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Now, Carmen's managed to identify 4 suspects, each one more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay very close attention to your suspect's means, motives, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer.
Okay. Opening it up. What did y'all think?
Notice at the very end.
I was kind of.
No, I couldn't say I fucked it up. So
Oh,
only a combination of 3, and I stopped. And so you're not allowed to say anything about yourself when you read it. Therefore, I went,
Okay.
I'm
That
out.
is actually also why I brought up the pickup technique, the pickup thing. Because if you do notice that
me
you've
off the
derailed
floor.
yourself,
You're right. Thank you. sir.
if you do notice that you've derailed or that you're veering from what your character would normally do, just say pickup, which is your mental cue and the cue to all of us that it's just that's the end of that. We're gonna toss the rest of that. We're gonna go back. I'm gonna get back into my character's shoes and we're gonna do this all over again. You don't have to restart the whole thing, but at least go back to the beginning of the paragraph if it's close enough, or to the beginning of the sentence. Just if you do find yourself messing up, this isn't stage. Like, you don't have to keep pushing yourself through the scene. And that's definitely not the recognizing that you messed up and going back and fixing it is different from critiquing yourself or from apologizing for your read. Those are separate things. Going back and picking up a mess up is expected.
May-
So,
may I
yeah,
do
go
it
for
from
it.
the top.
Yes, please.
Thank you. You know what's funny? I was going to mute myself so I didn't bother anybody. I think that's what I've been doing. I'm not playing. I'm not as cold as I sound, okay? Come here. Let me show you. Oh, hi. Thanks for dropping by. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before she came to us. It's amazing. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. It was with that in my mind, Nick was murdered. It was just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Yeah, genius, right? Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more capable of committing the crime than the other. As you work through this case, pay very close attention to your suspects' means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer.
So you said you've been doing this for 7 months now, right?
Well, only it's kind of read about the last 3. Doing it
Okay.
meant
Okay.
client stuff and
Okay. But the longest you would say you're doing this is about 7 months, right?
that absolutely.
Okay. For having done this for only 7 months, that was a really, really solid read.
You know
It
why?
felt
Because that's where I lived. No, this is great, and you're right, and you're a wonderful teacher, and really, I'm going to hire you. But the point becomes, if there was anything else, I would sound worse than anybody. But this is me, and maybe that's an actor part thing. I hope. I'm going to shut up. Tell me.
No. That's
No, because
perfectly
this is
fine.
wonderful. I'm in
So-
I'm a couple of the groups, and but no, this place is amazing with you.
No, I'm
That's
glad
all
that
I
you're
got.
enjoying your
I'm
time
done.
here.
I mean, I'm not blowing smoke. This ain't costing me a dime.
No, well, free
And you know what?
free.
When I
That's
say
the
forget
entrance
about
price.
it, we used to talk. Really, but I don't really sound like that, but I guess I do. But thank you for bringing out in me.
The thing is, though, what you did with this last
Thank
read
you.
is it sounds like you were far more connected with your own personal experience. That is a hugely powerful tool. That is a really, really powerful tool. And that is something you have a unique edge on, particularly with this kind of script. Because yes, this comes off as noir. It comes off as that classic, gumshoe detective style of delivery. And the thing is you have that. I could tell that you have that image in your mind and that you're reaching for that. You are more capable of achieving that than I am, particularly with your sound and with your life experience more so than anything else. You know what the city is like. You know what the feel, the hustle and bustle and everything is like. And that really lent some great life and character to this last read. Like truly some great life and character this last read. Now, could it use some more work? Absolutely it could. But for 7 months in, that was a breakthrough. And that is a really, really solid experience, I
There's
think.
not many scripts that call for this.
No, it really isn't. But here's the thing, though. The techniques that we used, to get to this point, identifying those things can be applied to any script. Any script.
No, really, thank you.
Like, I've worked with Roddy on the same thing, multiple other scripts, different styles of character. It's the same thing, and all of it can apply. You had an opportunity to apply it here, you did it, and you sounded great, really. All you need to do is practice that more. That's the improvement is going to come from practice and practice, taking what you learn from your coaches and from classes that you take and putting that into actual work. That is what's going to shore up that core of experience that you have and make you a much better performer behind the microphone. But this was a really, really solid read for somebody who's been doing this for 7 months only.
I've been doing it all my life.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Voice acting, it's not focused here. It's nowhere near focused here. It's focused here.
Right.
Voice acting is here. This is where it takes place. So I've heard people who are incredibly self-conscious about the sound of their voice, and they're doing mental casting as they're trying to do auditions. Like, oh, I think this person would be better for this role, and oh, I would probably give it to this other person instead.
You know what?
And
Can
they're
I
the one
tell you?
who's doing the audition.
I
It's
hated
like,
my voice. You have no idea. No. When I put the headphones on, I 2 weeks I walked away from everything. All my life, everybody told me, you sound like Sylvester Stallone. I have 2 degrees, okay? Philosophy. I could have been a contender. No, I don't want to be Sylvester Stallone. I hate it. I didn't hate the guy, but what? No, not me.
well, you're
Stop
not
it.
him. Yeah, you're
But
not
when I
him.
put the headphones on, you know what I sound like? They were right. I sound like Sylvester Stallone.
So
I
then you
swear
know
to
what you
God.
do.
It was
You know what you do?
horrible. No, I know. Thank you very much. Yeah, I want to be more James Bondy. Like, hey,
No,
come on.
what you do, and this is going to be really important.
Amazing,
You
right?
should only actually have the
Stupid.
headphones on when you're in the booth. To
They're
check
in
your
right
sound
now,
levels.
and
Well,
I'm in the booth. But,
well,
all
here,
right,
hang on,
thank
hang
you.
on.
I
Let me
have
finish my thought, please.
770s, by the way. I'll shut up. Go.
Let me finish my thought real quick, all right? The only time you should actually genuinely have headphones on in the booth is to check levels. If you're
Right.
in there on your own auditioning, remove them.
No.
Don't listen to yourself.
Love you,
Don't do it. Just
Love you.
perform.
because I
Because-
found that out only a week and a half ago. No, true story.
Hey, but that's still
No,
within
I
a year of
watched
starting.
boot camp with this other guy,
Mhm.
and he said, "Do not do that." After all, like 5 years of research and 2 years of really intense, and now full time. Don't do it. 770s and because you don't sound. It goes through so many bones
Yeah,
and different
yeah.
stuff, and I did it all the time, except for today. But right now I got them on, so figure it out. It's only for you. Don't you get it?
But this is what I'm saying though is when you are actually
Right.
recording, when you're
Yes.
actually performing, take off the headphones, especially so my setup right now, I'm not hearing myself. I don't have monitoring going through. So I don't know what I sound like through this. And quite frankly, for my performance, that doesn't matter. Hearing myself doesn't matter because I need to focus on who I am at the time. And when you start building that habit of going in for a read and taking the headphones off for the read, you can put them back on for communication and stuff like that. That's fine. But when you pull the headphones off for the read, you start focusing more on you, on what you're doing. That's more important. Who are you in the scene? That's where you want to go. So
Yeah, but the problem is typically you feel like if you take them off, you're going to miss somebody. Say you're going to miss something. You don't know
Well-
when you have that right. For real.
it's all recorded. You're recording it. It's all there.
No.
And
You
if-
said there was people involved or something.
Oh yeah, if there's other people involved, sure, but that's why when you're
mean-
performing, the headphones come off, but every time else you can put the headphones back on.
Indeed.
So yeah, just don't get hung up on what other people could be saying or doing.
Right.
That's not the most important part. So we're over time. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, actually, Barry, why don't you go ahead and go next? Then afterwards, I'll wrap up the recorded portion of the mic check, and we can hang out for a little bit longer. But yeah,
Cool.
bump you up, Barry. Why don't you go ahead and give us a read?
Hey, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring a new member and trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident, but as soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind. Mr. Webster was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspect's means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer.
Okay, what did y'all think?
Yeah.
Please.
Solid read. Clear. Not staccato. Fluid. Good. But be a little more adamant. Just be in it more. You're doing good with the read. And Trust me, if I was in it so deep, I still talk wrong. You got the right pitch and the way you're going and the way you speak, but feel it more.
It was definitely a bit fast paced. The clarity and like your clarity, we could hear what you were saying, and like you were saying everything right, but it didn't feel like you were talking to anyone. You were just trying to get it over with. In a
Yeah, that
sense.
that speed. It sounded like you were beginning with more of the grumpy, hostile style of read, but
That's what I was trying to go for. Yeah.
yeah, your speed killed it. You started becoming more of just reading a script after a little while instead of maintaining that sort of grumpy, hostile attitude about you, and maintaining those choices as you went through is something you need to slow down and work on a little bit more. So with this next read, slow down. Make sure that you're
Okay.
clearly describing, you're clearly communicating the the emotional state that you're going for first and foremost. Whenever you're
Okay.
ready.
Sure. Hey, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident, but as soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind, Mr. Webster was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspect's means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal a killer.
Your pacing was much better this time around, but you're still disconnecting from what's going on, particularly on that last paragraph. So I want to clue you in on something. During that last paragraph, you are treating the person that you're listening to as like a kid. You're telling them the most basic stuff ever. So it's a bit pedantic. It's a little bit demeaning. Pay close attention to your suspect's means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer. Again, the reaction that you're trying to go for is, yeah, a-hole. I know that. I've done this job before. I've gone through all of my training.
Can I say something?
Please.
You know what? I had a feeling the first read what he has in him. The second one was so much. It's just amazingly better, amazingly freer. You let yourself go. You did something very good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was definitely going to follow up by saying, yes, the slower pace did help you communicate that emotional state.
It wasn't even
much
that.
better.
It was just the feeling. You're getting it. You're getting the feeling.
Yeah.
Really, you're becoming that.
So for this next read, for the very last paragraph, just be as pedantic and as demeaning as possible.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Right?
I'll try that.
You want to make whoever you're talking to feel like you think they're an idiot.
Okay. Yeah.
If you don't mind, I might add something here.
Yeah.
I agree with what the other guys have said. I think you were doing it was very much better paced, yeah, in the beginning. And then I feel like, at least in my opinion, you kind of trailed off into more of the original first take fast speed. And always with the sensation of I'm maybe I'm a little nervous. I want to read through all of this and be done with it. So try to hold your horses, I guess, to keep yourself in check. the my nuance is the asshole read, I guess. The pedantic ass read. It needs way more flair than the, I guess, the nice normal cracker one. It doesn't need to be obviously over dramatic or anything. It's just that
Right.
people that are trying to be nice don't need to communicate a lot, but even just a smile or every now and then it can be a nice addition. But people there are trying to be sarcastic, obviously.
Oy vey.
Obviously try to intend more when they talk. So, and the slowing down in especially some of the lines can help that sensation of you're being sarcastic
Punctuate it, yeah.
or pedantic towards the end. So yeah, generally slower and a little more flair to a couple of those lines where you know that you're either talking down to him or you're talking down to the authorities, etc.
Okay.
Indubitably.
Are we good?
The time is yours, Barry. Go for it.
All right. Hey, welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick dead. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident, but as soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind. Mr. Webster was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspect's means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer.
Okay, opening it up. What did y'all think of that one?
Incremental.
Definitely.
What was that, Mitch?
Incremental.
Incremental. Okay.
Yeah.
Roddy, were you saying something?
But can I explain it?
All right, Roddy,
In that
hold on to that
you're-
thought.
you're
Wait.
getting mo-
Hold on to that thought real quick. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead,
Done.
Mitch. No,
Me?
I was telling Roddy to hold on to that
Oh,
thought. Go ahead.
I'm
Mitch.
sorry. No, Roddy, you go.
All I was gonna say is, yeah, you were definitely at least talking to someone while you were doing that performance. Continue.
But yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that incremental. Getting better, and you got better, and you got better. But yeah, you're gonna get better. Don't be so honey. Be easy with you. In other words, it's not gonna happen tomorrow. You're not gonna do it great Thursday next weekend. Be easy. Go slow. You're doing good. You're gonna get there. But go slow.
So, Barry, who are you talking to?
New dude, newbie.
Newbie dude?
Yep, newbie.
Why
dude.
are you annoyed with newbie dude?
I'm already annoyed with all the other stuff in the case, and on top of that, I have to trust that nobody's going to listen up and actually help. No one else has been doing a good job in this case, so why should I trust him? You better listen up.
Okay. One more time. Go for it.
Nice.
Okay.
Go.
All right. I will try it. Okay. Hey, welcome to the team. Looking forward to mentoring our new member, and I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this case. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anywhere. Your client Carmen was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind. Mr. Webster. Okay. Your client Carmen was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before coming to us. I don't know what the authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind. Mr. Webster was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each one of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you work through this case, pay close attention to your suspect's means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer.
Yeah, a little smarmy there at the end of it. I liked it. What did you all think?
I think it is miles better. Again, my
Getting
nuance
the
is
slow clap from Roddy.
the Joker's clap.
Well done.
Yes,
Very Very well done.
Whenever you,
I yield the floor.
yeah, whenever you stumble and stuff, and you want to pick it up again, suggestion is in general, if, and normally that is what we are doing, if we are treating this as a simulation of an actual recording session, is to pick up from the beginning of the paragraph instead of from if for example you mess up in the middle of the paragraph, to not go to the first period, but to start from the beginning, because
indeed, but that's mechanics. But what do you think about the way he spoke the words?
Oh, he spoke the words well.
That's the hour goes late. Sometimes we must be succinct.
Well, so here's the thing. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the recorded portion of the mic check. That does not mean that we're done. So if you want to keep hanging out, please do. We still have 2 more reads that we need to get through. But Barry, there is a technique that I want to do with you for this next one, which I definitely would prefer to do off stream. We're going to do the F-bomb method. So for those of you who are watching and have watched to this point, if you don't know what I'm talking about, join us and maybe you'll find out. You know where all the links are. They're all down there. Anyway, take care, everybody. And I'll see you next week. So give me 1 second.